If you played Starfield, you probably know that you can only hijack one ship in a fight.
We need to kill one, as you cannot steal a ship if there are two. Can be only one.
You can only dock and steal the final ship in a battle, so if you're fighting against 2 ships or 3 ships.
But I find that unacceptable. I don't want to have to choose which ship to board and loot. I want to board them all. I want to play for maximum greed. So I set out to find a way to board multiple ships. I even considered modding the game to see if I can remove that restriction. But where there's a will, there's a way. And my god, did I find a way. First, let's go over what you need. Obviously, you'll need EM weapons. Any EM weapon will do. But a great EM weapon you can get early on is the EMP 500, which unlocks at level 12. Of course, that requires you to level your pilot skill because it's a class B weapon. If you want to know how to level your pilot skill quickly, I've linked a video below which you can watch later. You'll also need the targeting system skill. Higher levels allow you to lock on faster, along with other perks. The EM weapon system skill will also come in handy for this, for obvious reasons. It's a tier 4 skill, but it's not required. Now that we got the essentials out of the way, let's go on to shipbuilding. This ugly sack of shit here is a modified version of the ship I made in my shipbuilding guide, which if you're not familiar with shipbuilding in Starfield, I recommend you watch my shipbuilding guide that I've linked below. But after this video, since we're boarding ships, there's no reason to attach any weapon other than EM weapons. This train wreck here is not the most optimal build. My character is pretty low level, so you can probably build a better ship. But as you can see here, I have 3 EMP 500s and 4 Spark 750s, each using up to a whopping 12 units of power. For your weapons to fire at max fire rate, they have to be fully powered, and these weapons don't fire that fast. So if you can't afford to allocate that much power, that's fine, just attach as many as you're comfortable with. For the reactor, I'm using the Fuser DC-401, which should provide enough power for our 2 sets of EM weapons. For shields, again it can be whatever you want, but I'll be using the Fortress A1. To demonstrate, I've accepted a bounty mission at Piazzi. I recommend reallocating power before combat so you don't end up fumbling around while getting shot at. So without further ado, let's jump to Piazzi.
Your cargo's mine!
Alright, so immediately we have the bounty right here, so I'll just disable the shields and the weapons. I won't disable the engines, and I'll explain why in a bit. So we have 1, 2, and 3 other ships to deal with.
You're dead!
This one seems to be the closest, so I'll deal with this one first. For this ship, I will disable the shields, the weapons, and the engines.
Get the thing back online! We're stuck!
Alright, on to the next ship. Again, same thing. The cool thing about having 2 sets of EM weapons, and you may have noticed this already, is that I can alternate between them while firing, basically doubling my fire rate. Okay, now I will... Oh wait, hold on. Let me disable those weapons again.
You're done! Lost one of our weapons! Get it back up!
Okay, now we'll fly away. So the interesting thing about the AI is that once you've disabled their systems, they kind of forget to use them when they come back online. For example, if you look to the right, the Phantom's engine just came back online, but it's not flying towards me. It also isn't shooting at me either, even though its weapons are back. The exception is if the ship is a quest target, like a bounty. Then it'll remember to use its systems when they're enabled. So if you stumble on a random group of enemy ships, it's important to leave one ship with a functioning engine so it'll chase you but not shoot you. But because this is a bounty, I have to target the bounty ship first, otherwise this wouldn't work. So at 6 kilometers, I should lose contact with the last enemy ship, which should be about now. Now I'll disable the engines on the Ghost.
You've already lost.
Even though I disabled the engines, the game still won't let me dock, so I have to leave my seat and then sit back down. And now I can dock. Alright, now that we're inside, let's see what we have here. We got Varun ratings and mech components. And, don't forget to search this box. Alright. Going up the ladder is where the cockpit should be. Okay, so real simple. I'll just go chuck a grenade in and... oh shit. Okay, let's try that again. I'm not playing on the hardest difficulty. I'm doing this for demonstration purposes. Alright, now they're dead. And we completed the bounty. Alright, so let's see what's inside. Any contraband? Doesn't seem like it. Oh, mech components. And of course, always check the cargo hold and the captain's locker for any good loot. Of course, you can loot as much as you want, and if you only care about boarding, then you can do whatever you want with the ship. But if you want to steal multiple ships, I'll show you that right now. It's important to know where you're flying from and where you're flying to so you don't lose any of the ships. Since I know I came from this asteroid field, I'll just fly to it and other ships should pop up, like that.
A few moments later.
So the ships are aggroed on me, but they still haven't started firing or moving around. So I will quick save and quick load to reset the AI. Alright, they are back to normal. So, again, same thing. We'll leave one ship with a functioning engine and disable the rest.
I'm taking you down. We're stuck.
Okay, now I will fly all the way to where I left the Ghost and let the Phantom chase me. Alright, so there's the Ghost. I'll just disable the engines real quick.
Engines down.
And again, leave my seat.
Sweet lady.
Then sit back down. And voila, I can board. I have now boarded 2 ships from the same fight. Okay, let's see. We got harvested organs and xenowarfare tech. And again, we open the door, chuck a grenade in, and close it. That worked out a lot better than last time. Is there any contraband in here? Not there. Oh, stolen artwork. Alright, I'm done with this ship. Let's head back. At this point, I've shown you how to board multiple ships in the same fight, so I'm going to skip ahead and show you how to steal multiple ships. I'm now in the third ship, and because it's the second last ship of the group, I can sit in the pilot seat and make it a home ship. And if I want to modify it or sell it, register it as well. So I'll bring up my ship screen, make it my home ship, and register as well, why not? So now your main ship will automatically undock with your new ship, and you'll have a brief window to redock and get back into your main ship. Okay, now I can just go back to the pilot seat, undock, and take on the last ship. Unlike the previous ships, I don't have to fly to this one. Instead, all I have to do is get in range, quick save, and then quick load, and then have it fly to me. As soon as it's within docking range, I'll just disable the engines and board it. Easy peasy. And now we can dock. Yeet! Man, that works every time. Bro, I'm never destroying another ship ever again. At least not right away. Look at all the stuff I've been missing out on. This must be why everyone does it in San Francisco. Now that all the pirates are dead, I can now board and register the rest of these ships without any trouble. And after all that, I can now make my main ship my home ship again. As you can see, we added 4 new ships to our fleet. Didn't have to destroy any of the ships, didn't have to choose which one to board. We took them all. Not to mention all the contraband we liberated from these pirates. The commerce skill is gonna be pretty useful for selling this stuff and the ships. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe and ring that bell. There's some things I have to explain. Some of you might be wondering why start with the second last ship to make it a home ship? Why not the first? Well, when you make a ship a home ship, the previous one will automatically fly away, sometimes in a random direction, but a lot of times I saw it fly towards the enemy, aggroing the enemy and the ship itself. As a result, they start fighting each other, and it ruins everything. Also, if you're intent on stealing ships, don't sit in the pilot seat and then leave and undock the ship. Otherwise, you can't redock with the ship, which is kinda dumb. Now that you know how to board multiple ships, you'll probably want to build or modify your ship so it can go on a boarding spree. But there's something you should know about shipbuilding, something that can ruin your ship if you're not careful. And if you want to know what that is, and how to avoid that mistake, then I highly recommend you watch this video right here.